Hello, participant. So, after understanding the three different micro skills, that is stimulus variation, explanation, and set in action, let us now come to the last skill in this presentation. There are a number of micro skills, but we are going to discuss the fourth and the last skill in this particular series of micro teaching skill. So, the fourth skill which we will be doing is skill of questioning. So in this particular presentation, we will be understanding what exactly is the skill of questioning. So let us start with the meaning. So a question is any sentence which has an interrogative form. So this is what is the question where there is an inquiry where the person is asking something and wants a reply from the other person. Questioning is fundamental to successful communication. Now, questioning is very much essential in our teaching learning process to have a successful interpersonal communication between the teacher, to have successful interactive session. So what we have seen in our stimulus variation presentation that there has to be different interactive style. So with the help of questioning, the teacher can have different interactive session, or there will be a interpersonal communication related to content during the teaching learning process between students as well as teacher. Continuation. It is the key to gain more information in the teaching learning process. Now, with the help of questioning, the teacher can gain more information related to the student's knowledge, student's understanding when the teacher is going to ask the question. So with this, let us see more about what exactly is the purpose of questioning. So let us see the very first for participation of the students. So we want our students to participate. We don't just want them to sit quietly and listen. So therefore, we want students to answer our questions. Also, to encourage students to think critically and creatively. Now, with the help of our effective questioning skill, when we raise good questions, surely the students are going to make use of their creative as well as critical thinking skill. So they are going to use their cognitive domain effectively when we raise questions to the students, surely related to the concept which we are teaching, to develop interest and curiosity. Now, when we raise questions to the students, we have seen many of the students say, yes, miss, I have to answer. Yes, please allow me to answer. So that is what, when we ask students to answer, when we ask students to share what is their idea related to that content, they are very much happy to answer. So this is what it develops curiosity and interest to know the students' understanding about content. Yes, questioning skill helps us to understand how much students are aware related to content. So we get the understanding of the previous knowledge of the student and from where we can start with our presentation. So this is what questioning skill help us. It also connects the content, the coming next content when we know that yes, student know this and accordingly we ask the question to the student and then move ahead with the next content which we are going to teach. So this is where the questioning is required. And the last one is to maintain concentration of student. Now, there are times when we keep on explaining the things, when we keep on presenting, we ourselves continuously are active and students are just listening. It happens they are not listening, rather they are just hearing. So to make sure that they listen and understand the concept and pay complete attention, it is very much essential that we ask question during our teaching learning process, also after we complete our presentation. So this is about purpose of questioning. Let us move towards the next slide, which will be talking about the types of questions which we can ask. So the types of question. There are many types of question. The few types of questions are very first factual question. The questions which are completely based on facts. Say for example, when we ask who ruled our country, before independence? So this is very factual question. Surely there were Britishers, there were other people also, but majority Britishers ruled our country. The next is closed-ended questions. Now, these are questions which usually are answered by just yes or no. So there's no further discussion, just they have to be yes or no from students' response. That is, from student side, student will only answer with the help of these two words. So these are close-ended. That is, they don't have to explain about it. Apart from close-ended, we also have open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are those questions in which students have to express. So like questions like how, why, questions which make sure that students give reasons related to it. Such type of questions are called as open-ended question. The next one is lower order question. Now, lower order question means that requires less cognitive level. So that is knowledge and understanding is sufficient. Say, for example, our factual questions are more related to memory-based questions. So this comes under lower order question. That is, students remember that answer and they put forward. So when we ask the student, where is Taj Mahal situated? The student is directly going to answer that the Taj Mahal is located at the city called as Agra. So this is what is a very factual based, a question which is all related to the knowledge of the learner or his memory, his remembering power. The next is opposite to it is higher order question. So these are nothing but application based question, the questions which requires creativity, the questions which require critical thinking. So the statement can be given by the teacher and teacher can ask the student to justify that particular thing after teacher explains the content. So this is what is higher order questions which require higher cognitive level skills for the students to answer that question. We also have probing questions. Now, probing questions are nothing but the questions which are simple. That means if you have raised a particular question which the students are unable to answer, so you will not say the answer by yourself. Rather, you're going to probe. You're going to simplify that question so that students answer it and finally they come to that understanding that yes, the very first question which the teacher have asked, that question answer I am aware of. So this is called as probing question, where you probe your learner related to the difficult question by making sure that the question has been simplified. So these are few of the types of questions. Now, after understanding the types of question, let us see the desirable behavior during questioning by the teacher. So, the desirable behavior of a teacher. Very first is to ask questions effectively, the teacher should make use of Apple mnemonic given by Professor Martyr. Now, this desirable behavior and the questioning skill, we will be learning through this particular mnemonic given by Professor Martyr, that is APPLE. Let us start with the very first letter A. So A stands for, so the A stands for, I think it is not working, yes. A stands for ask question. That is, teacher should be prepared in advance. The questions which the teacher is going to raise should be prepared beforehand. It's not that I am coming in the classroom and all of a sudden I'm preparing. As we all know that before we teach, we need to prepare a lesson plan. So in the lesson plan, we need to be aware that which question we are going to ask. So the question should be up to the maturity level of the learners, also surely related to the content. So this is what is the teacher is going to ask the question. The next one is pause. So next is P letter. So P stands for pause. Give learner 3 to 5 seconds to think about the question to respond. So we are going to give some time After we ask the question to the learner to think about the question and they can respond. The next P is pick. That is, pick the learner by calling her his name to answer the question. Also, make sure there's 100% participation of the student. So this is what Professor Marta said, that we need to ask the learner by calling the name. If the learner says, okay, miss, I have to answer, you can ask the learner, okay, name that particular learner and ask. Or initially itself, you can name the person to please stand and then raise the question. Or surely you can ask the question to the whole class. And also just take care you are not questioning to a specific individual or specific learner. That is, again and again, the same learner should not answer. Rather, your question should be given or should be distributed in such a way that all the students who are there have chance to participate, have chance, get an opportunity to answer your question. So we finish with A double P. Let us come to L letter. L stands for listen. And who is going to listen? Surely we, teacher, because we have raised the question. And now, after thinking, the student is responding to that particular question which we have asked. So we need to listen to it very carefully, what answer the student is giving. So listen to the answer given by the student, have eye contact with the learner, and use encouraging remarks. So yes, after listening to the learner, you need to have eye contact during when you're listening to the learner. And yes, you need to reinforce the learner. You need to give remarks or motivational words to the learner if the question answer is very much rightly said by the learner. You can give extreme reinforcement. That is, if he has done very good, that means you can say very good. You can say sometimes also excellent, good, okay. This is also a reinforcement. Nice, yes, surely. Just a smile sometimes also is a reinforcement. But yes, we need to give reinforcement in gestures as well as words. Next is E. That is the last letter of word apple, expound. Generate a dialogue based on learner's response. If the learner's response was incorrect, redirect the question back to the other learners. Now just take care that you need to have a discussion if the question was open-ended question. Okay. So have a dialogue, have a discussion if some things need to be clarified. Also, if the question which you have raised and the learner have given an incorrect response, so you can redirect the question to the other learner so that you give the opportunity to other learners to answer the questions correctly. And also the person who has given the wrong answer or an incorrect answer, understand which is the correct answer, because you are not giving the correct answer, rather his own classmate or friend is giving the correct answer. So these are few of the desirable behavior of a teacher while questioning. After understanding desirable behavior, let us see the undesirable behavior during questioning by the teacher. So let us come to the undesirable behavior of a teacher. Very first is yes or no type questions should not be given. As we have seen, close-ended questions like yes, no type question do not ask. It is not good. Okay. Next, it is elliptical questions should not be asked. Say, for example, your father name is dash. Now, such type of question which is not acting as a question, where you do not have question mark in the end, where you cannot put a question mark, you cannot ask the question, you cannot say that as a question because it is not in an appropriate manner which has been prepared. So this is what is elliptical questions should not be asked. The next one is echo questions should not be asked. Example of echo questions, say for example, teacher, that is you have explained about Gandhiji, and immediately after explanation you are asking students who was Gandhiji. So this is what is called as echo question. That is, right now you have explained and all of a sudden, immediately you are asking student, tell me about Gandhiji. Now, this particular question you can ask during your testing time after you conclude the whole presentation or explanation. So such type of echo question should not be asked. Also, double-barreled question should not be there. Double-barreled, that means one single question, but two different thought process, two different ideas are there, and you are asking that two different ideas in the same question. So it actually confuses the student what they have to say. So if you ask the question, okay, what are the principles and demerits of seminar method? Then the students get confused whether they have to say principles and demerits together and how. So such type of double barrel questions should not be asked. And the last undesirable behavior is ambiguous questions. So ambiguous questions, that is the questions which confuses the learners, the questions which are not correct, and the questions which are not at all required related to content, it is not at all there. So avoid such type of question. So these are few of the undesirable behavior of the teacher which the teacher should not show during her teaching learning process as well as during her questioning. After undesirable behavior of a teacher, let us proceed towards the lesson plan of skill of questioning. So let us see one lesson plan on the skill of questioning. So I hope you can see this lesson plan. This is a micro teaching skill which we are doing, and this is the fourth skill, that is skill of questioning. Okay. So we will be writing our name, subject, the subject which on which we have prepared this skill, the topic name as well as the standard. Okay. Now, if you see, I have prepared total 12 questions. Okay. Now, if we see each question, very first question raised by teacher was a simple question, that is, what is commercial term used for buying and selling of goods? So the student is going to answer, that is, it is called as trade. Now the teacher is going to ask how many types of trades are there on the basis of geographical location of buyer and sellers. So since it is asking how many types, the student will be saying that there are two types. Now after the student says there are two types, the teacher is going to ask name the two types of trade. Now the student is going to answer, that is external trade and internal trade. As soon as the student answers, the teacher is going to surely reinforce and then raise the next question, because this is what is the questioning skill. Therefore, we are continuously talking about the questions because this is a micro teaching skill. So we are concentrating on a specific skill, that is questioning. So the next question will be, what is external trade? So student will answer external trade. Teacher then asks, what is the other term used for external trade? So student will say, okay, foreign trade or international trade. After she finishes with external trade, please see what is internal trade. So there's a logical continuity. She started with what is trade, then she asked the types of trade, and then internal, external trade discussion. From internal, she moves towards what is wholesale trade. Then she's asking who is the person engaged in the wholesale trade. Then to whom does the wholesaler supplies the goods? So the answer will be retailer. And the final question is why retailers are important in the process of trade. So this is where the teacher is raising the questions in a logical sequence, taking care of all the desirable behaviors which she has to follow during her questioning skill. Now, please note in the end, which what I have written is teacher takes appropriate pause, because this is a questioning skill. So surely after each question, teacher is going to take a pause, as we have seen in the desirable behavior, for few seconds, so that students gather the answer in their mind, organize the answer in their mind, and they answer the question. Also, when the student answer correctly, the teacher is going to appropriately respond by reinforcing them, or if the answer is incorrect, she can redirect the question to the other student. So this is a very small and a short lesson plan of skill of questioning. And this questioning skill, surely we can prepare for all the subjects which we are teaching. So any subject which we are teaching, we can have skill of questioning. Now this again, I'm telling, this is specific micro teaching skill in which we are developing mastery. So this is what is skill of questioning lesson plan, specifically skill of questioning. So let us come to our presentation. So we have finished looking at the lesson plan of skill of questioning. Finally, let us summarize. In this presentation, we have seen skill of questioning, the meaning, the purpose of questioning. We have also seen the types of questions and the desirable behavior and undesirable behavior when the teacher is using questioning. We also saw the complete lesson plan, how to prepare the skill of questioning skill, micro teaching skill, that is skill of questioning lesson plan. So let us conclude. Thus, teacher use questioning skill to have interaction, to assist students' understanding, and to ensure that they are attentive. So these are major reasons why questioning skill is used by the teacher in the classroom. So I hope you have understood the content. Thank you.